You're being a real Kyle.
I had no drywall to punch or monster to drink.
Stuck. God, that was so good.
Hey folks at YouTube, it's been quite a while since I did kind of like photo shoot video, but here we are again with
Madison.
Yay, Maddie. So the reason I wanted to do this shot today because I want to test out some things. Normally I use like this little light stand, but I got a new light stand, and I use like a crappy like softbox thing usually that I got this Glow 48-inch parabolic umbrella, and I want to test out the difference between the softbox light and the umbrella light, and also of course see how sturdy this is compared to the other light stand. So let's check this out. I'm gonna trade. This is heavy.
Yikes.
All right. One good thing about this stand, of course, it's very heavy, as Madison can attest to, but it's also really quick to set up and very sturdy. So we're gonna do a little test. I already know how to set this up. This is easy. Let's see if we can get her to set up really quick.
What, me?
Yes.
The hell?
So let's see if she can beat me to set this up. So no, that's not how you do it.
Oh crap. This guy's gonna smack me in the freaking face.
Okay, so let's try this without people getting
God.
smacked. Ready? I'll do this one.
Wait. Help.
Pull it towards you.
Ah!
And she's done before I am. Yeah, so she got done before me. That's what I like about this stand. It's really cool and it's really sturdy. So let's give it a shot. See how it's like. So yeah, normally I use this Godox softbox. It's big and square, you know, and it works great. You know, good, nice diffused light, but it's square. Square is kind of not flattering. So
It's a square.
let's set this up and show you kind of what the if my model could cooperate and see what the quality results are compared to the other umbrella I have. Oh God. All right, so shooting of course with my A6300 85mm f1.8 lens. I'm going to be shooting from the same spot. She's going to be in the same spot. We're going to do a couple of poses with this softbox, and I'm going to switch to my umbrella. We'll see the difference here. Okay. One more pose. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, different pose.
Yeah, different pose. Doing where you kind of like facing the light a little more.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here's a glow umbrella, and it has a little plate, reflector plate, and diffuser, of course. And I'm going to see if I can get this set up without too much difficulty. I've never set this up before, so let's see how this goes. That nice big umbrella. Let's see how hard this is to set up.
Alright. Wow! That looks like an alien thing. Doesn't it?
Yep.
That looks like a satellite.
There we go. It has little clips in it. All right, not too much difficulty. Happy birthday, Polly.
Who bought it for your birthday?
My sister.
Dude, who knows what it's about?
Well, I did kind of do her wish list. Okay. That's kind of right. Okay, yeah, it was a little bit more difficult to set up than my other one is, but I'm sure with practice I'll get better with it. By the way, I'm using a Godox flash with this. It's a H62, and so it's not like a super powerful flash, but it's really good for indoor portrait stuff. And we're kind of overcast now, so it's pretty good. I have it set at 1/16 power, so I'm not going to change the power of it for this, just to kind of so I can see what the difference between the light quality with the same power. So check it out. As long as I get the framing right. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. 1, 2, 3. Cute. 1, 2, 3. Check the qual.
How's the ball?
Crispy.
Let me see.
All right. So here we are in Lightroom. I got a couple of the pictures that we took at the shoot loaded up. Now I just want to do a comparison between the pictures with the square softbox and the round glow beauty dish here. So if you notice, like some of these pictures look a little bit underexposed. This one, the exposure is not too bad. This is the one with the square softbox. I didn't do any editing to this yet. This is all just basic settings. So let's do some comparison here. Let's see. The pictures here. Let's find this one. This is more with the glow box. So if you notice, we lost a little bit of light. So because the glow umbrella has a reflector plate in it, you lose a little bit of light. I noticed, because obviously the light is bouncing around, reflecting in there. But if you also notice that it gives a little bit better shadows because of that. Let's find a little bit better angle here. 1/100th of a second, f1.8, ISO 100. Again, you notice the here on the left, that's with the umbrella. On the right, that's with the softbox. A little bit more light on the right here. If I had to try to match the exposure on these, this one would have to come up a bit with exposure. So let's go ahead and swap these. Okay, so I have to go up about, that's about half a stop, 0.5. Go back to the reference mode. So that's a little more closer in exposure. Now the background, I think it still has to come up a little bit in terms of exposure. The background's still a little bit underexposed. I did that on purpose. I shot a little underexposed on purpose so I can bring them up. But I do like, the light and the shadow still looks soft on each one. I've always liked my square softbox. That's no problem. But if you notice, let's go in here. Let's try to get a little bit. Let's go to 2:1. You notice the catch light in her eye? It's very rounded. Let's go to this one here. Again, rounded catch light. This one's a little better example. Let's up the exposure on that. Go around here. There we go. So that's one thing I do like, and I do like, that shadow coming off the nose here. Very, very nice and soft. White balance has to be adjusted, of course. and warm it up a bit. Compared to, say, this is a shot with the square softbox. You can see, you know, the catch light is not quite round. You know, it has that squarish to it, and the shadow coming off the nose here, a little bit, you know, harder of a shadow. But again, it's still, you know, the softbox is still, you know, pretty nice and diffused light. I just kind of took the few I took of the shots I took before and after. Again, this is with the softbox, you know, at 1:1, you know, came out really sharp. And let's go and take a look at what these look like after I do all my editing. So give me 1 second. Okay, so as you can see, this is what they look like after final edit. Of course, I warmed it up a lot, brought up the exposure, and kind of sharpened in the eyes a little bit. Got rid of any type of you know, oddities I might have saw. But yeah, that's what this looks like with the glow umbrella. And going back to, let's find, this is with the softbox. Again, the shadowing on the nose, it's a little bit more pronounced. You know, certain angles, depending on what her face angle is, you know, it does soften it, but you do see a little bit harder shadow right here in this very corner. The edge of her face, you know, it's you definitely see a harder shadow compared to, say, this face. It looks like the light is more wrapping around more. Now, other than the first, like, what is this, 7 or 8 shots here that are in the red, those are only with the softbox. Everything else after this, after those shots, I did with the glow umbrella. This is a really good example with the glow umbrella because the hairs come in front of the face, and immediately you see, like, kind of how quickly that shadow, you know, fades away. Let me show you some other examples from the shoot. Some that I think that would really exemplify what I mean with the way the light looks. So, like, look at this shot here. It looks like, you know, it almost looks like daylight to me. You know, the way the shadow is very, you know, soft. It looks like daylight, but it also looks like a studio type shot. It looks like this park bench is in a studio, and there's like a fake, you know, background behind her, and there's just like one big, you know, studio light that's like replicating the sun. That's what it looks like to me. You know, this shot I did at ISO 500, 1/250th of a second. There's a couple other shots in here that are kind of like that. Except like this, like, yeah, of course you see the reflection in her sunglasses from the softbox, but still, you know, it looks, the way the lighting falls off right away, you know, how soft that the light goes, and I like that look. Like this one especially, you don't really see the reflection in her glasses because she's facing me more, but yeah, I do like it. This one's a nice shot as well. I like the way the light just kind of envelops her, and it's very soft around her. Doesn't create too much contrast between light and shadow. Again, this is a very like overcast day that we shot. So yeah, there's a lot of shots in here. Let's go back to the rest of the shoot that we did, and you'll see a lot of these shots in here. I'll put them in the video and do some zooms in on the details and stuff, so you have to see what we accomplished. So let's kind of you know what? Let's have you stand like a few feet behind this tree, not like up to the tree, but just kind of For these couple shots, I upped the power of the flash just to get more coverage. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I get full body in there, but I don't want to get like. I don't want to get Alright, another fun shoot with Madison. We always have fun. Testing this thing out was an experience. That light stand is very heavy compared to my other light stands. I'm going to definitely bulk up using that thing, but it's very stable and secure for sure. I don't think any wind's going to knock it down, and if I do, like, it's not going anywhere really. It's pretty heavy. Setting up the umbrella, a little more involved than I normally used to, but I'm sure I'll get used to that for a while. But we had fun. We had a lot of good shots. I put some in here so you can see it along the way. And did you have fun?
Yes.
Tell them where they can find you. On
Instagram, Natty Muffin. Facebook, Nattis Natty Cosplay. You can also find me out in these streets, man.
Don't be street walking now.
And YouTube, Nattis Natty Cosplay. And just pretty much everything else is Nattis Natty Cosplay.
Yeah. And you got the design.
I do have a design page now on Instagram. It's Maddan Design. That's my portfolio.
Yeah. So check her out, and we're gonna have a lot more fun. I'm gonna try to do a lot more of these videos in the future. Mostly probably with Madison, but probably with some other people if they want to. But usually Madison's the only one that ever wants to.
I was forced into this.
Yes, I dragged her into it. All right, so thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Bye.
Join us next time when we embark on a journey to the center of the earth.
Parabatic umbrella.
Umbrella!
I got this.
Leave that in.